All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending our today's webinar. I know the U.S. CPA journey can feel overwhelming, but today we're going to take it step by step. The goal is to make everything clear, simple, and manageable so you leave this session feeling more confident and ready to move forward. And hopefully, you will see that success is surely possible and is within reach. Before I start, I'm Anis Yazbek, and I'll be your host for tonight. And I'm looking forward to leading this conversation with you. And we have as well Mrs. Sylvie Lavoie, who will be monitoring the chat box and answering your questions as the presentation moves along. So feel free to interact. We're here to make this session as engaging as possible, and we would like you to stay till the end of the webinar as we have two important announcements we would like to make. As a start, Morgan International was founded in 1995, which is almost 30 years ago in Lebanon. And from that location, through professionalism and dedication, Morgan grew organically. And we are currently present in almost 28 locations worldwide, including Europe, India, and the Middle East, and of course in Canada since 2009. We offer a wide variety of certifications that are not only limited to accounting and finance, but we also provide certifications that are related to HR, supply chain management, and digital marketing as well. Before we talk about the advantages of the US CPA, I want to tell you that the biggest challenge most of the candidates face is not the exam by itself, but it is the misinformation around the credential. There are many stereotypes that stop people from even considering the US CPA, and today, together, we will correct some of those misconceptions. Many people believe that the US CPA is only useful if you want to work in the US. This is simply not true. The US CPA is a global credential. The Big Four, the Big 20, the multinational companies, and even the cross-border finance teams recognize it everywhere in more than 190 countries in the world. So the US CPA has a global recognition and is one of the most portable accounting designations in the world. You will hear some people saying that the US CPA is only for accountants. Let's look together at the job market. There are thousands of finance professionals, consultants, managers, and even executives holding the US CPA. They hold it not because they are accountants, but because it's a credibility badge for them, not just a technical badge. So it signals integrity, ethics, and analytical strength as well. It tells the employers and the clients that you don't just understand the numbers, but you understand the responsibility that comes with them. Another stereotype is that the US CPA takes forever. To be honest, the US CPA journey is not a walk in the park. Let's agree on that. The exam is demanding, yes. It requires focus, discipline, and strategic preparation. But with the right approach, success is possible and is surely within your reach. If you give yourself a structured plan, you will be surprised how achievable it becomes. Most candidates finish it in 12 to 18 months. Yes, as you have heard, 12 to 18 months. And if you are dedicated, motivated, and equipped with the proper study tools and you have a proper study plan, you will be very well positioned to pass from your first attempt. And it's worth mentioning as well that the exams are offered on demand all year long, meaning that you can schedule them at any time throughout the year. Another idea we face daily is that you need to be a US citizen or to live in the US to qualify for the program. For sure, you don't. And you should know that international candidates make up a huge portion of new CPAs every year. The exams can be written in Canada in prometric testing centers, so there is no need to travel to the US, and your experience can be earned anywhere in the world and at any point, meaning that you can earn the experience before, during, or even after passing your exams. The last common misconception I want to highlight is that the demand for US CPAs in Canada is very low. In reality, the demand continues to rise due to the fact that a lot of companies based in Canada are either US owned or they operate across the border or they report under US GAAP. And you should know as well that within large accounting firms, the cross-border and the international tax departments, they rely a lot on the US CPA expertise, and there are some certain positions that are strictly offered for the US CPA holders. So now that we cleared some of the misconceptions, let's stop at what actually matters. The US CPA is one of the most respected certifications in the accounting profession. It has a global recognition in more than 190 countries in the world and in Canada more specifically. It's also cost effective because if we compare it to other, the cost is way lower. And of course, the most important part is that the professionals who hold the US CPA tend to earn significantly more than those without a US CPA designation. Now, to move into the technical aspects, to get certified, you should comply with three things that we call the three E's. The first E is the education, then the exam, then the experience. So number one, you have to meet the educational eligibility requirements, which varies from a state board to another, but most of them require a minimum of a bachelor's degree. Number two, you have to pass the exams. We're talking about four exams that we're gonna detail in the upcoming slides. And the third E is have the proper work experience, which is almost 1 to 2 years under the supervision of a certified US CPA. And that's it. Then you will become a member of the AICPA, which is the largest accounting body in the world, and your certification will be recognized globally and you can utilize it anywhere in the world. The US CPA curriculum consists of four exams of four parts, as we have mentioned previously. Three mandatory parts, which are called the core parts, and the fourth part is the advanced discipline that you need to choose among three available options. The exams are done in Canada in prometric testing centers, so there is no need to travel to the US. The exam consists of MCQs and case studies as well, and you should score more than 75 over 100 to pass. And after passing your first exam, you have 18 months to complete the remaining three parts. And the good news is that currently most of the states voted to increase this period to 30 months. So after passing your first exam, you will be allowed for 2 years and a half to complete the remaining three parts. The core sections cover the material from introductory to intermediate levels, while the discipline section dive deeper into specific topics with more advanced content. If we want to do a short walkthrough over each part, the FAR is all about mastering the financial reporting cycles. It ensures that you can prepare, you can analyze, and you can report the financial statements across all entities. And it includes the largest volume of information, which can make it more challenging than the other parts. The audit part builds your foundation in how audits are performed and how auditors provide trustworthy assurance. It tests how well you can plan, how well you can perform, and how well you can report an audit. At the end of the day, it's about ethics, it's about risk assessment, and somehow I would say it's the bridge between knowing the numbers and being accountable for how you use those numbers. The last core part is called the tax and regulation, or the reg. It builds your understanding of the U.S. tax, the business law, and the ethical standards behind a credible judgment. The exam tests your knowledge in the tax law, business law, and the professional ethics as well. It's about applying federal regulations to individuals and to businesses as well. And it's somehow the intersection of accounting, law, and compliance. So it gathers all of those three aspects. Now, moving to the advanced disciplines, the bar is all about using data, analytics, and technology to make better decisions. It's called business analysis and reporting. It teaches you how to interpret data, how to work with automated tools, and apply modern analytical techniques in real accounting work. The ISC, which is the Information System and Controls, it focuses on technology, controls, and safeguarding the financial data. And it explains how to ensure that the systems are reliable, secure, and aligned with business objectives. In fact, it's the discipline that blends accounting with IT governance and cybersecurity, which are the foundation of the future that is being built as of today. The TCP, tax compliance and planning, takes you to a deep dive into the tax field, be it for individuals or for businesses. It's about mastering tax rules and applying them strategically to real-world scenarios that are considered more complex ones. So now that we have covered the like quickly the parts of the curriculum, in regards to the application timeline, as a first step, we provide you with a free pre-evaluation of your transcript to help you shortlisting the state boards that you qualify to. Then you apply for the official evaluation through NASBA, and once your application is approved, you will receive the notice to schedule, or the NTS, which is an important document that allows you to schedule your U.S. CPA exam with the testing center. The NTS usually is valid for 6 months, meaning that you should schedule your exam within those 6 months from the issuance date of the NTS. And once you receive this document, you can schedule your exam with Prometric testing centers, and you will be able to choose your testing location and date. And it's important to book your exam as early as possible, as testing centers can sometimes have limited seat availability. The good news for the Canadian CPAs is that as a Canadian CPA, you get to bypass 3 of the 4 sections of the U.S. CPA uniform examination. The only exam that you must write is the IQX, or the International Qualification Examination, which is 100% identical to the regulation core part. If you pass this exam and you meet the eligibility requirements, then you will hold the U.S. CPA designation and the Canadian CPA as well. So now how Morgan can support you in preparing for your U.S. CPA exams. Simply put, our team of dedicated professionals is here to guide you in every step of the way. And we have put in place, in collaboration with Becker Professional Education, multiple study packages that contain everything you need to effectively prepare for the exams. As I mentioned earlier, Morgan is proud to be Becker's sole representative in Canada for the U.S. CPA material. Why Becker? Simply, they are the top-ranked publishers for the U.S. CPA materials. They are in the business for more than 60 years now. There are more than 1 million candidates who prepared with Becker materials, and there are more than 2,900 accounting firms who dealt with Becker, and they recommend using the Becker material to prepare for the exams. In fact, the Becker's online access is one of the most advanced in the industry, as it has a study planner to help you plan your studies, a lot of videos that coach and explain the concepts, a lot of MCQs, I would say thousands of MCQs and mock exams, and a final review program that includes additional MCQs and case studies which are not available in the normal access. So you can train on new questions, on new set of MCQs, which will give you a push towards a better preparation for your exams. And most importantly, the personalized learning or the adapt to you technology, where the system assesses your own performance through AI and algorithm that takes into consideration how many hours you're studying, how fast you are in answering the questions, how many modules you have covered, how many correct or wrong answers, and many, many other criteria. All of them are blended together in an algorithm until you get something that we call the exam day ready badge, where our statistics shows that 94% of the candidates who earned this badge, they pass their exams from the very first attempt. So this is to show you how important and how strong is the Becker material that we are providing. So if you decide to register for the self-study programs, you will get the benefit of having what I have mentioned earlier and all what is being displayed now on the screen. But if you choose the Morgan Live online package, you will get everything I mentioned earlier, plus the access to our live online classes. These classes include around 45 sessions. Each session lasts for 3 hours, and each session is delivered by our certified and highly experienced instructors. All of them are either university professors with more than 15 years of experience, or they are professionals working in the field, and trust me, they know a lot about the US CPA. They know the US CPA exams inside out. They are trained, monitored, and continuously supported to ensure you receive the best possible classroom experience. So I leave it to you to imagine how many best practices and how many advice you will be getting while you are attending those classes. Now, to boost your study plan, we advise you to create a realistic study plan and to always remember that steady progress beats the last minute effort. So don't give up, keep on trying, and for sure you can do it. Joining a study group or finding a study partner is highly recommended to maintain a high level of motivation, and attending our live online classes is one of those places for sure. Set goals and stick to them. A good idea is to break them into small targets, as this will ensure daily wins and will help you create and maintain the momentum. Practice as much as you can, anytime, anywhere. Be focused and practice, 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 practice. Focus on reviewing the MCQs and the past exam questions. Do not just spend your time reading theory. Passing the exams depends heavily on time management on the exam day. And the only way to build that skill is through practice. So benefit from the time where you are preparing, optimize it by practicing and by keeping on repeating the material so that you put yourselves in a better position for the exams. Now, as we come to a close, let's acknowledge that the US CPA exam is demanding. It requires focus, discipline, and strategic preparation. But with the right approach, success is possible and is within your reach. Every question you practice is progress. Every concept you master is power. Every day you stay consistent is a step forward for sure. Let's put it this way. The USCPA exam is tough, but so you are. So keep moving forward because your consistency is what transforms goals into results. And at Morgan, we're passionate about helping professionals grow, and we believe that the education is key. And for sure, it can take you places. That's why our team of dedicated professionals is here to support you in every step of the way, be it on the administrative front or throughout your educational journey. And trust me, every moment you dedicate to this journey will be worth it, because when you finally add the CPA to your name, it won't be just a title. It will be a proof that that you have worked hard to earn it, and it will be a key to unlock new opportunities in your career. Well, that was my technical walkthrough. Now, let's open the floor for questions. You're welcome to drop them in the chat box or to raise your hand, as we would love to hear what's on your mind and to answer your questions as well. The floor is yours, everyone. So we have Sajib. You can unmute yourself if you would like to ask your question.
Assume you can unmute yourself, you can talk. Hi.
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Anamud.
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I have one question. So as a U.S CPA, how could we convert that into Canadian CPA? Is there any way? Because we live in Canada.
Yes, for sure. If you hold your US CPA, as we have mentioned, as a Canadian CPA, you can convert to US CPA, and vice versa as well. You can convert your US CPA to a Canadian CPA. There are some regulations and some rules that you have to meet based on the MRA between the Canadian CPA and the US CPA. It's not something that is difficult, but there are some requirements that must be met. The only difficult part out of those requirements is that you have to either hold a US degree or to have a 1 year of experience in the US. The remaining requirements are basically very straightforward. You have to write like one
Yeah,
exam, and you have to hold your license and to have a letter of good standing. So all of those are administrative stuff. But the most like challenging thing is that you have to meet one of the two requirements that I have mentioned.
You
so
guys figure out
in
okay.
that case,
I gotta
in
go
that
get Olivia.
in that case, I have to stay in America to do the service, or I can do online for American company for 1 year.
Well, I would say the best thing that you can do is confirming this with the Canadian CPA body, because they basically have all of the details, all the updates about this. But from what we know and from the best practice that we have is that you have to be employed like in the US, not through a virtual job. But you should know one thing, Anamul, that if you hold the US CPA, you might not need the Canadian CPA because the opportunities will be opened for you. You will have a lot of job opportunities, a lot of offers. So not all of the US CPAs they convert to Canadian CPA because they will find like a career path, a strong career path because of holding the US CPA.
Mhm. Good.
And just one more thing, why I have referred you to the Canadian CPA body, because as we mentioned, this like usually the mutual agreements are always getting up to date. There are always enhancements. There are always appendixes on them. So it's better to always refer to the regulatory body to get the most updated information or the most updated details of the MRA.
We have Sajib that has unmuted himself. I believe he has a question. Sajib?
Yeah, thank you. So, I have a question regarding that after completion or during pursuing US CPA from Canada, is there any job opportunity or how do I communicate with the specific, suppose organization that required US CPAs in Canada? So, is there any help provided by the Morgan to the students to connect with the employer directly, those who required actually US CPA, those students are pursuing directly from in Canada.
Thank you, Sajib. Well, I'm happy that you have raised this question because it will serve as a transition or a like an introduction for the closure or for the wrap up of our webinar later on. Because one of the announcements is related to some vacancies and how you can benefit from being a Morgan's alumni or a Morgan's candidate. Uh, to get the proper contact with the employers who are looking for US CPAs. So Morgan is not a recruiting agency. We don't interfere in the recruitment processes and we don't do job placements. However, what we do is that on I would say throughout the year on a monthly basis, we do some joint recruitment events with the big companies, the big four, the big 20, the multinationals who are seeking to get some US CPA profiles. So what we do is that we create a recruitment event, an exclusive recruitment event, be it in person or online, where we put the candidate in front of the recruiter from the Big Four or from the company who's offering a position. And in this way, you can explore the opportunities and you can benefit from that network. So stay till the end of the webinar so that you can see the announcement. And Sajib, you are in which province?
Saskatchewan.
All right, no problem. Stay till the end and you're gonna see how we do it.
Oh, hi. I have a question regarding how to convert to Canadian CPA. I don't have the US experience, but I do have a US MBA in finance. So
That's great.
is
That's
that
great. So it should do the job, yes. What you can do, simply you can contact us, you can drop us an email. We're gonna share the contact details because here we're talking about a specific or a personalized review for the documents. But grosso modo, I would say that holding this MBA from the US will allow you to be eligible for the MRA. But of course, we have to check it for you and to check the other requirements as well. So we're gonna connect to you after the webinar so that we can go into the details of your case and we can give you the proper advice.
okay? Okay, thank you.
And one more thing, Sajib, regarding the opportunities, for sure, you can find all the opportunities on LinkedIn, on the recruitment channels, because most of the audit and tax companies they do have the international taxation or the US tax. So basically, you will find a lot of openings, a lot of opportunities on the recruitment channels.
As well, if you follow us on LinkedIn, Anis and I, we share opportunities across the country whenever we come across one from the Big Four and other companies. And now we have Courage, who would like to ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is centered around one of the answers he provided earlier, right? Is around converting Canadian CPA into US, right? He mentioned the IQEX kind of exam, right? I want you to maybe elaborate more on how that is done. Do I need some form of US experience after passing the exam before I can get the US certification? That's one question. Then number two, the IQEX exam, what kind of exam is it? Are they multiple choice kind of exam or they are case-based exams? Those are the questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Courage. Sylvie, would you like to take on this answer?
The questions are multiple choice questions and task-based simulation. The IQEX is the regulation exam, it's the US tax exam. So this is when you are a Canadian CPA who wants to get the US CPA.
And Sylvie, regarding like if you want to give a quick highlight about the process of how to apply for the IQX, if you could give some highlights of that.
For the IQEX, you need to have the audit right. I have shared already in the chat the link for that, where you need to check if you're eligible, and you need to get a letter of good standing from CPA Canada or CPA Ontario or whichever province. And then you just need to write the exam, register and write the exam. And then you register with the state board and you have your license. You already have the work experience from CPA Canada, so that's all you need to do.
All right, thank you, Sylvie. So, Courage, basically the conversion or the process to go through the IQX examination is not complicated. You simply have to meet the few points that Sylvie has mentioned. They are very straightforward, and the exam is like the regulation. One exam, you do it, you pass it, you submit your documents to the Canadian to NASPA, and that's it. You will become a US CPA. It's somehow very straightforward as long as you meet the eligibility requirements. And the link which was sent by Sylvie includes all of the details, and we can as well include it in the summary email that we're gonna send to you, and we can go into the details of your profile so that we can give you a better assessment or a better advice.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Courage.
Now we have Raman who has a question.
Hi, I am 1 year from graduation and I want to prepare for the CPA exams. Is there any states that I can take the exam even before I have a degree, even before I have all the required courses?
Rahman, do you hold any other than the current degree that you're about to complete? Do you hold any other university degree?
No, I went to school late, so
Okay.
I'm like one course away, but I'm
All right.
definitely many business courses away as well.
Okay. Let
Um,
me tell you. Yeah, please go ahead, Sylvie.
If you don't mind, I can answer that very
Yeah,
well.
please go ahead.
You're studying in a school in Canada?
Yes, a BCIT in British Columbia, yeah.
Okay, BCIT. And you have taken most of the accounting courses?
I would say I have enough to qualify in the States for like more than half of the courses, but I know each state is different and I probably don't
Yeah.
have
There
them
is
all.
There is one state, Haman, who allows to write the exams, register and write the exams before you have your bachelor degree. If you don't mind, you can email me or email us actually your university transcript, and we'll do an evaluation and let you know if you can.
Thank you. I'll do that. But now even if I don't have all the courses, is that same state let me take the exam before I have all the individual courses?
It's a state board that allows you to have the to write the exam without the bachelor degree, but you need some specific accounting courses.
Okay, super. I'll write you. Thank you. That's cool.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sylvie, for this positive note. So out of this answer, you can see how flexible the U.S. CPA is. So if you hold a certain amount of accounting credits, you might be eligible for writing the exam. But of course, we have to check the subjects that you have taken so that we can give you a proper advice. So Rahman, we will be waiting for your transcripts so that we can do the proper evaluation.
We have Gagandeep who has a question.
Yeah, hi there. My question is more of a less kind of reverse engineering on the rules. So I'm based in Canada, and the US CPA is something which is a key for me to have a Canadian CPA. So you mentioned that either your education or you have to have an experience in US under that state board to be eligible to have an MRA, qualify you to have a Canadian CPA. So my question is, each and every state board are different. Now, how would I know that once I clear the examinations for US CPA from a certain state board, then for the licensure, do I have to get an experience under a CPA, or my Canadian experience under an accounting firm will be counted? And yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and that is to also the supervisor should not be a CPA. So in Canada, we do not have a US CPA as a so-called supervisor or directors or managers. So I have an experience in this in finance, but either my colleague like superiors are in finance, or maybe the Canadian CPA or CFAs. So my question is more related to the rules. If I have an experience in Canada of finance, and if I clear US CPA from a specific state board, what is the process of licensure to get a license without having an experience working in US? Wherein my Canadian experience can qualify without, like my experience can be certified by a US CPA, but I don't have any experience working under a US CPA.
Well, Gagandeep, in order, like if you have the US CPA, you have to go live in the US and work for 1 year as a US CPA in order to be eligible to write the equivalency exam for the Canadian CPA. And in Canada, there are a lot of US CPAs, but some state board will allow either a US CPA or a Canadian CPA, or even a supervisor without a CPA to sign on your experience. But the hurdle is you gain the US CPA and then you have to go live in the US and work for 1 year.
Okay, so that is a mandatory kind of requirement.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes. If you want, just send me an email and or send us an email, and I will send you the rules, where to find them and everything, where they're written and what you have to do.
Okay, so please share your email address in the chat, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome, Gagandeep. Well, I think since this question is being asked from many of the attendees tonight, I think it would be good to send those information to everyone, to all the attendees, so that you can have a better information, a better knowledge about it. And then, of course, if you still have any question, we can connect together and to provide you further clarification.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So moving to the Q&A section, I see that we have answered some questions and we have a couple which are still open. We have one question about the fee for the US CPA and also do you help in CPA registration process? What's the cost? Yes, for sure. We provide all the services as I have mentioned in the presentation from the day that you decide that you want to take on the US CPA journey until the day that you get your license. So we will be supporting you on the administrative front and on the educational front as well. The official fees are not that high. We're talking about a total of around 1,800 US dollars for the official evaluation and for the 4 exams. And of course, those amounts shouldn't be paid one shot. First, you pay for the evaluation, you pay around 225 US dollars. Then, after 5 to 7 weeks, you pay another $140 to complete the evaluation process. And later on, when you want to write each exam, you pay an approximate amount of 350 US dollars. So those are the official fees that you have to pay. From our side, all of our services are free of charge. We don't charge you for our services as long as you purchase the study material from us. And here we're talking about multiple packages that starts from 1,000 Canadian dollars and that can reach up to 4,000 Canadian dollars, depending on the package that you would like to get. And of course, we're offering an installment plan so that you can pay over monthly installments without any interest fees and without any additional or hidden charges as well. All of those will be detailed in the email that we're gonna send after this webinar. We have another question from Sushant. In 1 year, can complete all 4 papers and what is the exact fees? Regarding the fees, we have answered them. Regarding the timeline, I would say yes, you can do it, but it all depends on your dedication. It all depends on how much time you can allocate for your studies, how much time you can put in the service of this project. We have candidates who have completed the 4 parts in 4 months, some others in 10 months, some others in like 14 to 15 months. That's why we say on average, it takes around 12 to 18 months, meaning that each part will take around 2 to 3 months of preparation. But yes, if you are determined, if you have time and you are really focused, for sure you can finish them within 1 year. Yes. We have a question from Kapil. Is my experience of 3 years worked under Indian Chartered Accountant counts toward US CPA experience? Yes, it will count. It all depends on the state board. As we have mentioned, some of the state boards they accept a non-US CPA to sign off or to attest your experience. So that's why we have to be carefully selecting the state board that you have to apply to, so that your experience will count for the license. Is it 4 exams or 6 exams? No, we're talking about 4 exams. 3 parts are the core parts, which are mandatory for all of the US CPA applicants. And the fourth part, or the fourth exam, is a selection between 3 options. So it's true that you have 6 parts that you are seeing, but you have to choose 4 out of those 6. 3 are already mandatory. And the fourth part is up to you to select based on your profile, on your experience, and on your career path. So yes, this is in total, we're talking about 4 exams only. I have recently got my credentials evaluated from U.S. Canada CPA. Will that credential be valid for U.S. CPA evaluation? Abdul Sattar, that's a great question because yes, it will count for you based on the state board that you are applying to. Some state boards accept the U.S. Reports, some other they only accept the NIS or the FACS. For instance, Pennsylvania accepts the US, but of course they don't accept the US Canada. It has to be issued by West US. So you can request West Canada to transfer your file to West US so that you don't go through the hassle of resubmitting the documents, and your equivalency report will be issued, and of course it will be taken into consideration. So I think we've answered. We have one additional question. What happens if a person passed 3 exams and failed one? Is there a fixed time to pass all exams, or can we wait for few weeks? You can write the exams as much as you want. Of course, we wish that you write it only once and you pass, but there are unlimited attempts. But uh, at every attempt, you have to pay the exam fees again. But there is no limit for writing the exams in case you don't pass from your first attempt. I have,
Sorry.
yeah,
As well, there is a fixed time. From the first exam that you pass, you have 30 months to pass the other three. If you don't pass the other three within 30 months, the first one that you wrote, will be expired and you'll have to rewrite it. But
yeah,
3
exactly. So
months
this
is
is like
plenty of time.
Yeah, so this is like a different aspect of the question. I tackled the one that in case you failed, how many attempts you can have. But as Sylvie mentioned, and as it was mentioned in the presentation, after passing your first exam, you will be given 30 months to complete the remaining 3 parts, or 18 months depending on the state board that you are applying to. So if you pass the remaining exams after the 18 or the 30 month, you have to repeat the exam that falls out of this time. I have a direct question that came in private to me regarding the selection of the discipline. At this stage, I have to confess that the most asked question that we receive on a daily basis is either which discipline should I choose, or sometimes which discipline is the easiest one. Our answer, honestly, is that while we know that the bar has the most condensed syllabus, we believe that the level of difficulty is relative to each candidate. Our advice to you is to take a step back and take a look to your profile. Think about your career path, your experience, your skills, your career goals, and then you will be capable of selecting the most suitable one to you. If you're interested in information technology and data management, you may want to sit for the ISC. If your interest is pursuing a career in tax and compliance, for sure you have to prepare for the TCP. And if you enjoy the technical aspects of accounting and reporting, opt for the bar so that you can solidify your knowledge in the new trends and in the new technical aspects. So that's why it all depends on your profile, on your career path, and on the strength that you would like to build. For sure, there is no specific order in taking those exams. You can start with the part that you are most prepared to, but based on the syllabus and based on the best practices, of course, we can propose few study plans based on the discipline selection that you may do. For example, if you want to do with the bar, it's a good idea to take it right after the FAR because they complement each other. They are not prerequisites, but they complement each other. If you want to take the TCP, it will be a good idea to take it right after the regulation because they are somehow highly correlated. So you're free to start with the part that you're more confident at. Some candidates prefers to remove the toughest parts in the beginning and leave the less tougher ones till the end. Some others they prefer to start with the less tougher parts, and they warm up with them. They gain the momentum, they gain the confidence, and then they go through the like the toughest parts at the end. So it's all about your strategy, about your perspective, and about your somehow your guidelines about the exams. One last thing I would like to highlight as well is that the passing rate for the US CPA can vary slightly from a year to year, but generally it's around 45 to 55%. This means that approximately half of the candidates who take the exam pass each section on their first attempt. Each section has its own unique pass rate. FAR had the lowest passing rate usually, then comes the other than the regulation. On the advanced disciplines, like the bar usually has the lowest passing rate, then we have the ISC, then the TCP. But we should be mindful that the pass rate fluctuates a lot, mainly because of the candidate's preparation as well. So if you prepare well, you can rest assured that you will have high chances to make it from the first attempt. So if you have the right preparation and strategy, you can pass for sure. Now, moving to the wrap up of our session. I want to tell you, first of all, I would like to thank you. And I'd like to tell you that you will receive an email with all the key information that we have covered today. And I have two announcements that I'd like to make. I'm excited to announce that we will be hosting an exclusive recruitment in-person career event with EY in Toronto on May 26th, which is almost in a month from now. For those of you who are based in Toronto and in Greater Ontario and would like to attend, we strongly encourage you to register as soon as the link goes live, as the spots will be very limited. EY will be offering many positions for their US tax department and their international tax department. So it's a great opportunity for you to attend this exclusive event. As I mentioned, the registration link will be posted on our official pages very soon. And for everyone who's joining from another province, don't worry, we're working on bringing similar events to more locations in the near future, but this one is limited for those who are based in Ontario. As well, I'd like to announce and to let you know that our Audit Live online class will start on Wednesday, May 6th, and we are inviting all the attendees to join the first lecture completely free of charge as a taster session so that you can see how the class works and you can experience it and you can get a real feel about how we run our classes. And the registration link will be surely posted on our official pages as well, and you will receive an email when this will be published. Well, that's a wrap from our side. Again, I'd like to thank you for being here tonight, for making this webinar interactive, and I look forward to seeing many of you either in the career event that we're having or on our upcoming class. And for sure, I hopefully gonna be connecting to you over the phone, Sylvie or myself, and we can announce later on about our upcoming events, and we look forward to having you attending as well. Thank you once again, Sylvie. Thank you for your support, and thank you everyone for making this webinar as informative and as interactive as we wanted. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.